Welcome to ReCooped the podcast, where we uncover the depths of sustainability and its impact on the world.
We're your hosts, Vicky
and Michelle.
And together we'll explore what it means to live more sustainably.
Sustainability.
What is that?
We're going to talk about it.
We're going to tell you everything. Welcome, everybody. You're listening to Vicky
and Michelle.
And this is our podcast. And we've got lots of fun things to talk about today.
We sew together all day long.
We see each other for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
We're next door neighbors, and we love to make things out of old crap.
Yeah. So that is a gist of our story. But really, Michelle, Tracy said that we have to tell our story. Tracy is our producer. She's a delight, but she's also bossy. So let's make her happy. So what's the story of ReCooped? How far back shall we go?
Well, our team is expanding, obviously.
Yeah. Yes.
But
we're still tiny.
Well, we've been neighbors for a while now.
For years.
But we started building chicken coops.
Yes, the beloved chicken coops during pandemic times.
And realizing how much fun we had together working. And
that's how we coined the tortoise and the hare.
Yeah.
I, Vicky, am the tortoise. Michelle is the hare. We can talk about that a little bit more. But, you know, I'm a little bit thought out. Michelle, she feels confident. She knows that she can do it and she's going to do it. And I'm going to sit there and I'm going to measure every square inch to make sure it's done right. But truly, it really was Michelle and I building chicken coops.
With recycled material.
With recycled materials.
We had these little goals and challenges. We love a challenge. So we can build a mansion. Of a chicken
palace mansion.
Yeah, for chickens with old fence boards. Because we tore down the fence between our house. And we had all this lovely fence board. And then somebody said, here, take some of these old pallets.
Yes.
So we went to town on it. Gave ourselves a couple hours. It was when my kid was
during
napping.
Nap time. Yeah.
And busted out the frame of a chicken coop.
Yep. We really did have to prioritize how we did it before little Asher boy wakes up.
And then a week later, we had this beautiful chicken coop. We had used a whole bunch of power tools.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't have to spend any money.
No.
We didn't buy any new material.
The only thing we did buy, which was supporting the Habitat for Humanity, was getting hinges or
but from
the
Habitat
hooks.
from Humanity.
Yeah, but just trying to find a way to bring it back to the community. And then
we sold it.
And it was so
we
cool.
had so much fun.
Yeah.
We split the money in half and started the next project.
Yeah, we started the next project. And then one of us had a crazy idea to do a really awesome garden-esque event in our local town called Sorticulture. And that's how we blossomed to where we are today. But really, in between that time, we got access to these bags that we
the opportunities, we weren't going to take them for granted. They just kept coming at the time in subtle messages. A friend of ours came with these big plastic bags. He threw them in the back of my husband's truck and said, I think you can probably figure out something to do with these. I use a lot of them with my business and they're very wasteful. Spends a ton on a dumpster fee and it's really wasteful. They carry firewood. And I didn't think much of it, just left it there. We're perusing ideas for sorticulture.
Well, wait, let me explain just in case, because I, Vicky, did not know what these bags were, where they came from. I was not familiar with them. So if you can just imagine the biggest cube rice bag that can fit on a pallet that 4 adult humans could fit in. They're called forklift bags, super sacks, dino bags. They are used to transport mulch, firewood, sometimes even food.
Concrete, rock.
They're huge. They're industrial. They're plastic. But it's such good material. So if you can imagine that. Yeah, and they're beautiful. And we found a way to make them really beautiful and useful for every day. And
unfortunately, in the industry, they get used one time. Like our friend who gave us the bags. They slash the bottom open to empty them. And they can't use them again. So it's single-use plastic. It's like a mega ultra Ziploc bag on an industrial level.
Yeah. And we found a way. We take these dirty bags. We truly take them apart piece by piece, seam by seam, thread by thread.
I think that's where we had an edge at this point, because we can talk about doing this all day long. But when it comes down to taking apart these bags, these dirty things.
Mm-hmm.
You have to like kind of have patience and
Be
endurance
prepared
to get through.
for the bugs
Yes, it's
and the
not
centipedes and the creepy crawlies
and
that
the
come out of them.
bloody fingers,
And the chapped hands, the
black
hangnails.
dust in your nose,
Mm-hmm.
black boogers.
Yep. All
Yeah.
day, every
Cough.
day. So
But-
yeah, those bags, we took that opportunity, and it's really hard work.
But we had this good work ethic and this mindset of like, we can do it. We'll just work on this for a few hours, see how far we can get. And then we had all of this really awesome material
Mm-hmm.
and these forklift straps
Mm-hmm.
that are sewn in, and the forklift just little prongs go through.
Mm-hmm.
They're bright red for these particular bags, and they just look so awesome. That's brand new material that shouldn't be going in the waste.
Mm-hmm. And it really just kind of started off with a grocery bag that we would use, that we would give our friends and our families, and then it just grew from there. So if you
It
get on
evolved
our website,
definitely
you can see
like
the
a
pictures.
prototype.
Mhm.
Our prototype period. I was seeing this stuff in my sleep. I'd close my eyes and see like the red strap because I'm like, there's so much you can do with this. You can finagle it and bend it, move it, but it's not easy to sew. We had to figure out techniques and trial and error for a while.
Oh yeah, even
It was-
trial and error with our actual sewing machines because this material is not easy to use. We've had many broken needles, shredded thread. Many times our machines were in the shop. Many times the people at the service, they're looking at you like, why are you using this sewing machine for this material? And for us, it was like, well, this is where we are right now. we have to do what we can do with what we have. So,
And we also, it is that challenge, that fun part of it, almost like that no cheating. We had this zero overhead goal. But now that we look at it from a business standpoint, a year later, we have been sustainable as a business. We don't buy much overhead. We don't use a lot of waste. So if we kept going like this and other businesses did too, that would make a direct impact. So it along the way, we learned a lot, and it's very fulfilling and rewarding to just keep going. So now it's like, what else can we do? When we came up with sorticulture bag stuff, it just evolved into these really useful, functional, recycled, upcycled, I guess.
yeah. And we got a lot of really good feedback from people out there in the world about how they could be used or what they envisioned from them. But the biggest thing was like how we can use them every day and how they are a functional piece to living sustainability or sustainable. And we were really happy to be able to share that with our community because...
And our community is so great. They supported us, which really helped.
Yeah, we cried
So we were
every
like, we'll pave the
day.
way this way, and you guys kind of hold us up a little bit, and it worked out great. So that confidence that we exude is partly because
Yeah.
we were received so well at Sorticulture. It really took off. But we did have to get a business license for Sorticulture. That was another step along the way where we were like, how far are we going to do this? Is this a passion project or something that we just do Sorticulture every year? Or what could we do?
But then
But our friend is like, I get 350 of these super sacks every year, and you can have them all because I don't want to pay for a dumpster anymore, and I want to be more green in my business. This would be awesome.
And it was kind of one of those moments of like, let's fuck around and find out too, though, because we were in places in our lives that
and a transition point.
Both of us that were like, okay,
and
let's do it.
We've had a lot of experience in life, and we know what we're doing.
So that's kind of like the story of ReCooped and how we got started. I'm sure there's more that will come out eventually that we're missing, but that's our story.
And
I mean, so that's where we are. We're selling in stores and we're selling online. You can find us at local markets and hopefully one day national markets, grocery stores or something.
We want to be global, worldwide, international.
Since our product is a sustainable, a green, reuse,
functional.
Tell me, Michelle, what does sustainability mean?
Okay.
Do you want...
Oh, gosh.
No, don't be mad. Listen, we got support.
We do have the definition.
Let's read the definition. Read the definition.
Okay. Sustainability. The ability to be sustained, supported, upheld, or confirmed. Environmental science. The quality of not being harmful to the environment or depleting natural resources, and thereby supporting long-term ecological balance.
And this came from Webster's Dictionary.
Yes.
Just to let y'all know, this is where we got it from.
And it is curious because we've been at markets and we've heard people say they don't even know what that means and stuff. And, and you can like kind of get that big picture of what it means, like better for Earth or better for the economy to be sustained. But it goes everywhere, like agriculture, food industry. It's everywhere.
Yeah, everything. And everything that we do and how
everything
you
you consume.
From your home to outside of the home to big businesses to...
So that was part of like our discovering this business plan of like, this is part of our overall, that carbon footprint that we make. So we wanted to like, and the big picture is at the end of the day, like the last year we've done so much in recycling, upcycling that stuff that would have just ended up in the trash. So with that, and you knowing the definition, do you agree with dictionary.com's definition of sustainability? It's hard. Yeah.
Like in general, that's a good general
not being harmful to the environment.
Yeah. What's your definition then? How would you describe it?
Being able to just operate without bringing in new things. So, or your overall waste. So I would look at it as like every year I consume this much laundry detergent. But several years ago, I went plastic free the laundry way. And now it's been a few years and I can really feel and notice that impact of like, I have not contributed any plastic laundry. Something that you have to do for the rest of your life is wash laundry, like drink water, do the dishes, clean your house, those sort of things. So just making those small little steps of being more sustainable. Like I've been fine without buying laundry detergent. I buy the plastic free kind now, and that works for being sustainable. Just one little step.
Okay, peeps, we're going to take a break right after these messages. We'll be right back. Hey, ReCooped friends, this is Vicky. If you're not already shopping with local businesses, you should, because they are way more sustainable. The perfect store where you can get everything you need locally is Petrichor in Everett, Washington. Petrichor is a general store for the modern dweller, rooted in time-honored traditions and design, with a focus on thoughtfully made and sustainable products. Visit www.petrichorliving.com to plan your visit for sustainable goods, and that includes our bags. So get shopping. See you soon.
Okay, Vicky.
Yes.
Now we're going to ask you your definition and also your experience in life and how it's shaped you toward where you are now and how you view sustainability, because it's different.
Yeah. Well,
than average America, right? Like you have experience.
Yes, I do.
You do.
No, I
want to
do.
know it.
Okay, so first, sustainability for me. I guess, did you ask that? I think you asked that. Sustainability for me, what is that for me? I mean, in my head, it's just not being wasteful and being, like we talked about, intentional and being thoughtful with our purchases or with the usage of whatever it is, or the foods that we eat, or how we consume anything and everything, right? So I don't know. Sustainability is just being thoughtful about, okay, is this gonna deplete the world of more trees, of more, just the different things like that. I don't know. Gosh, I was
almost
like
thinking outside of that box.
I think it's like being creative
about
like
how you're saying earlier about like the way you were treated with certain things that you ate as a kid, but that was now when you see it viewed as.
When did we talk about that? We didn't talk about that yet. Not in the recorded part.
Oh. Well,
because Tracy messed up.
Yeah, Tracy.
Okay, wait. So we can talk about that. So yes.
No, yeah.
So with that, using my life experiences and that kind of things of people like waste in food, right? And like people making fun of maybe the things that I ate or me being ashamed of it. When in actuality, I wasn't wasting
any part of the animal.
So yes, as a Lao American, first generation, I was the kid at first, not proudly. Yes, I do eat chicken feet. Yes, I do eat the cartilage and the tendon and the tripe and intestines and even duck blood. Like, I know that's really crazy for some people, but just in our family.
But if we're going to eat the leg muscle, then what's wrong with eating that? You know, like in the grand picture of it, in the end,
it's like an edible. And I know for some people, they're, what is it like?
It's not mainstream.
Yeah, it's like the tail end of the chicken. Or I've heard someone say that before, like how it's a gross thing. Like you don't eat the feet part, and the butt or whatever. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. But anyhow, but now as an adult, I am pretty, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Because I remember actually, kind of a side note, but an experience that I had where I was like, forget about how you feel because I'm going to eat, was we were at a restaurant with some family friends. And this is probably like 5 years ago. I can't remember, but we were at a dim sum restaurant. So we all know dim sum has all the delicious things, which includes the chicken feet. And I love that shit. And I was starting to eat it and I was kind like I normally am. And I offered it to anybody at the table, not to be funny, not to be fear factor, like, ooh, eat chicken feet. But it's like, hey, like, do you guys want any? Because I'm going to chow down. If you say no, more for me. And I was a little disheartened when I started eating. And then a friend was looking at me. And if you can imagine, she, like, when you look at someone in disgust and your hands are over your face, over your mouth, and you're like, and I remember, and I was an adult, I had that weird shame that I felt like when I was a kid, when I'd share the things, you know, that I would eat with people. But she had her hand over her face. And I remember my response to her was like, I'm eating this. Like, this isn't like a game show, you know? And I don't remember my response, but it was something in the tone of like, no, I'm eating this right now. This is not for show.
Yeah. And this,
I'm not
ordered.
This is what I ordered for myself. And then I don't know if it was because I was comfortably eating it, but I was chowing down. I had offered another friend who was Cambodian. She said no originally, but then I think when she saw how comfortable I was, I could be wrong. Then she asked if there was any, and I was like, girl, you're too late. I ate this, you know. But just like even as this experiences, I have them as adults still, you know, as I'm sharing, but like just people, I guess it's kind of like a segue to like not being wasteful, and in my life experience of not being wasteful and eating things that might be different from traditional American mainstream. Yeah.
Because all you've known is being in America. So you're doing what you're
this
doing
way, as a Lao American. Yeah. So like in my family, you know, I am first generation American. And I'm very Lao. They're very proud to be a Lao American woman. And I love sharing my culture with people. But I think when in the aspect of sustainability or in waste or different things like that, I feel like growing up, I had seen waste in just ways of like, right, you're in middle school and you want the coolest clothes and you want the newest fashion and you want
a trend.
Something that's really trendy. Not unfortunately, in my life, I was raised by a single mom and there was 3 of us, and having the coolest, newest, most trendy thing wasn't feasible. I needed jeans that would carry me through the year and t-shirts and sweaters and socks and shoes.
Functional.
And very functional. But then there was also those times where you would see your friends, like they would get brand new stuff all the time. And I was like, oh my gosh, if I could wear your size shoes, because I would take those old shoes that you apparently can't wear anymore because they're too dirty or they're not the coolest. And so seeing that kind of waste in my American friends, I guess you could say, it was kind of like a reminder of like where I came from or how my family.
Or generational impacts of like what these.
Yeah.
Almost not like a bias, but like those kids, that's what they were.
Yeah. And that was they were taught to want. So, and then
the problem is like not our country, just like not somewhere along lines embracing other cultures that have been sustainable.
Yeah. No. Yeah. And I think
like where this country started from, like what Tracy was saying about the conference that she just went to, like accessibility and stuff.
Yeah.
So not embracing other cultures that have historically been fine.
Yeah.
First, millennia is one of, I think, our country's biggest problems is being shocked at things that they're seeing that aren't normal
to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like what I've always said is people need to become comfortable with being uncomfortable more.
Yeah. And then for me nowadays,
like it wasn't your fault that person had that reaction.
I know, but it's so
that
sad. Like we're like adults. Like we're legit.
Like that poor person did not have a very, I don't know. They missed out somewhere along the line.
Yeah, I know. I that is one of those memories that pops up into my mind every now and then, just because I'm like, oh man, just because like I want to eat with wild abandon or wild abandon. What is the word? Wild abandon. I want to eat the chicken feet.
Vicky wants to cook over the fire.
I do. I want.
That's how it should be.
And that's how it should be, and people should just let it be.
Yeah.
Like where you're like, if it doesn't bother you, just leave them alone. Like who cares?
Yeah.
So same idea, but I think with life experiences, with I think culturally, at least in my family and in my family structure, is like we've always been very innovative in I'm thinking of another word, but I can't think. But like innovative, creative, thoughtful, resourceful. That's the word of how we do things, how we build things, how we create things, how we save things, how we reuse things. And I'm sure there's many children of immigrants and first generation, second generation American folks that can attest to seeing that in their own families too, because you're like, yeah, no, that totally is true. Like the butter container.
Yeah, there's always leftovers.
Yeah, it has noodles in it, or it has like I had a friend who's like, oh yeah, there's chicken adobo in there. Just different things like that. It's like finding ways.
And then somebody might be like, who's not used to that, would be like, why don't you just use a Tupperware?
Correct,
something like that. And but I'll have my noodles tomorrow, and I didn't need a Tupperware.
Different things like that. So I think,
and then you're fine. Like you're still fine. You're thriving still. So you've managed to go without these trivial things. Yeah. And be fine.
No, totally.
And I find every year I like it more and more when I'm like, I just went so long without something that I thought I needed all the time, but I don't. Yeah. And then less is more, what they say, that key to success is like, or those billionaires who have the same outfit that they wear every day. It's because it eliminates that need to pick out an outfit. Like that's a sustainable way to live. Billionaires are not sustainable at all in any means, but
I have been doing that. Did you notice?
Yes.
That I wore the same outfit twice.
That's good. One thing that I like to do is spot clean my clothes. I have 3 kids, so if really we got down to it, I would have to do a lot of laundry every day.
That is true.
But now I just put it aside, and then I'll spot clean the little fingerprints off my jeans or my pants.
Yeah. I've been waiting for someone to say something to me like, Vicky, you're wearing the same purple pants for 2 days. But the thing is, I actually wore them for 3 days because you didn't see me on the weekend.
And you're fine.
I know. And was I smelly?
No.
On Monday and Tuesday? No. I still shower. But yeah. Well, okay. So like, since we're talking about these little things that we were doing, what do you think people can do immediately to start living more sustainable today, tomorrow, next week, when they run out of that laundry detergent?
Good key points on that. But we already talked about the laundry detergent, right? So
maybe. Did we talk about laundry detergent?
In the other recording.
Oh, yes, we did.
Okay.
We did. Okay. So, laundry detergent. Okay, we talked about that.
Which is just a little thing. But those intentional purchases, the intentional or not purchases.
Can you tell me what an intentional purchase is?
So,
like, how would you tell? Because people are like, oh, yeah, intentionally, example. I need that $3 thing at Target.
No, you don't.
Oh, I don't?
Yes.
I don't need another $3 egg holder?
The impulse. No, you don't. The consumer holidays are the worst.
Okay.
Especially for the mom crowd when you walk in and you see the cute, the new stockings that match
Yes.
the other theme.
Yeah.
The elf on the shelf.
Yeah.
All these little tricks to get moms hooked and who's going to be the bigger super mom this year with all the crap. I opted out of it when my middle kid was approaching school age, and I've been clean of holiday decor ever since, and it feels great.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think for me, what I might recommend eventually when you get to this place, I don't think we've talked about this yet, is I had an experience with my sister who uses cloth napkins. And I remember coming back from New York and being like, that was a really cool idea. So instead of every breakfast, lunch, dinner, you have a paper towel to use, or a paper napkin, to use for your meals, just use a cloth napkin. And then if you're really sustainable, you use the same napkin all day.
Yes.
You leave it in your
some
spot.
of my absolute favorite cleaning brands, and we can discuss them later maybe, but that I've been using for years that have eliminated all my cleaning stuff.
Well, yeah, you use those pods.
Yeah, the pods. And
so these pods that go into
a reusable spray bottle, and then you just add water and your essential oil, and you get 20 ounces of cleaner, and then each one comes with a pack of 3 or 5. So it doesn't seem like that big of a difference or a change, but I have not bought any plastic spray bottles for a long time. Windex sometimes and stuff, but Swedish dishcloth, the sustainable plastic-free cleaners, stuff like that, where now it's part of my routine.
Yeah.
I'm not buying that stuff, and I'm fine for it.
What would you tell someone, literally, of all the
it's cheaper.
Of all the ideas,
way cheaper.
Of all of the ideas that we gave someone, what would you say the top thing right now, just to change today? That's doable.
I would say,
I don't know.
using the cues, the physical cues of your repetitive throwing away. It's something that you notice the next week. Something that you notice you're throwing away a lot of. If it's a plastic wrap or K-cups or floss picks, something, or if you're in your car and you go through the drive-thru and get, the same thing that just produces that waste, see if you can eliminate it by just half.
Yeah.
Just a step at a time.
Yeah.
Incorporate it, or make sure your next purchase of something. What's the next thing that you need to buy? The new big pot, because your other one is getting gross or something. Make sure to be intentional when you buy it. Don't just buy a cheap, cool one on Amazon.
No, just actually get
or
quality.
Support a small business when you go buy it from their place. Those sort of things, being more intentional with your purchases, supporting a local, small, sustainable business, which makes that direct impact.
Yeah. Because
it's hard to make an impact when there's that industrial waste above our heads that we have no choice.
Yeah.
So yeah, that shame, that mom shame, that we've talked about, people mom shaming about what you're using or what you're wasting. Oh, you shouldn't be using Ziploc bags, that sort of stuff, or the guilt that you feel for using these things. It's happening so much everywhere else. Just be intentional in other places.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
The one thing I would recommend, if you use a Swedish dishcloth, throw them in the washing machine, not in the dishwasher. Put them in the washing machine, and they're going to last you so long. And I think Michelle can attribute that mine last a long time because I throw all of mine in the washing machine.
And they are
ages.
Amazing. My favorite is my Norwex glass cloth.
Oh, I know which ones you're talking about.
Instead of paper towels when you wash your windows. Oh my gosh. It is the best. The Swedish cloth, that cloth, those things that, when you are running a house and you're, cleaning and cooking all the time, those sort of things that are that's a game changer for life.
Yeah.
Kind of like our bags.
That's good. Okay, guys, live sustainably. Do a little bit. A little bit goes a long way.
And thinking about it is the first step forward.
So
just thinking about it.
Think about it right now. Do something great tomorrow. We got more for you next time. Thank you so much for tuning in to our podcast, because we're going to be really good at this soon. Okay, love you. Bye.
With all the shit.
With all the shit.